So I'm getting ready to go to work, and I just got a message from one of the CNAs that I work with, and apparently they're moving me halfway through my shift, and I really can't stand the fact that they are doing this because I am supposed to be in assisted living, which I've been working more assisted living than memory care, but for some reason, since I'm doing family visits, they think that it's just cool for me to get pulled to memory care halfway through the shift, which means I have to finish out the last 4 hours with, people that I haven't even had. So I'm about to go in like 10 minutes. I'm going to head to work, and I'm going to be up front from 2 to 6, and then have to go back to memory care from 6 to 10, which is really annoying because nobody consulted with me first. Nobody said anything or anything like that. And like, I have been super flexible and, covering for other people's shifts. And it's the CNA who's leaving is the one that I covered for yesterday. So I worked her 6 to 2 shift yesterday. I was actually scheduled to be off yesterday, and I worked her scheduled shift covering for her because she had family in town. And now, because she had picked up a double, she wants to leave early. And it just really, like, I am completely fine with covering a whole shift, but I cannot stand working behind someone and only doing like half of a shift. Like, if you get these people mad back in memory care, like there could be a whole incident like there was yesterday where somebody just went off and lost their minds yesterday, even with PRN medication. I'm really frustrated because I don't think that it's fair for them to move me halfway through my shift, like I said. And even though she said that she's going to have everybody in their pajamas for me when I come back there after dinner, I still don't think that it's right because I have to do CNA stuff up front, help pass dinner up front. And when I say up front, I just mean in assisted living, because obviously our assisted living section is separated by locked doors from our memory care section. So I'm just really frustrated. Like yesterday, I was supposed to stay for 1 extra hour, which turned into like 5 extra hours. I ended up working a 12-hour shift yesterday. Well, a little over 12 hours I ended up staying because originally my boss had wanted me to just train for an hour with the person who does our family visits. And then he asked me if I could stay and do 2 additional family visits past the time when I was supposed to leave. So I had picked up to cover for this other CNA from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then he asked me to stay for an hour, which I was fine with, until 3. I ended up staying until 7. So yeah, I was more than a little tired yesterday and just kind of frustrated because in the morning when I got to my shift, the other CNA who was supposed to be doing the front section of assisted living didn't show up until 7 because she had gotten her schedule mixed up and thought she was supposed to be serving in the dining room, which serving in the dining room, you don't have to come in until 7. So I was kind of on my own. And it's just little stuff like this, like no communication, that really irritates me because, like, I was looking forward to going into today having a smooth, semi-relaxing day, and kind of trying to reset my mind so that everything was just like positive and not stressful. And then come to find out I'm being moved back to memory care where they've been having a lot of problems lately with certain residents back there, just because of memory care, Alzheimer's, dementia, all that stuff. It's obviously, it can be challenging working with people back there. But like, if you wanted to do that, you could have just had me back there the whole shift instead of halfway through the shift, you want me to go back there. I can't stand doing that. Like the last time I got pulled in the middle of a shift, I was working a double and they had asked me to stay. They had asked me to stay when I was working in the kitchen. So I was supposed to be there from 7 to 3:30 that day. And then they told me that I needed to stay until 10 o'clock to work the 2 to 10 shift. So I was really frustrated. And that day when they had me stay, they had put me back in memory care, which was fine because like I said, if I'm going to work a whole shift somewhere, then that's perfectly fine with me. But then one of the CNAs that was working assisted living that day ended up eating something that she was allergic to because she didn't know that it had the thing that she's allergic to in it. So she had to go home, and then they pulled me to assisted living. I'm sick and tired of getting pulled in different directions in the middle of a shift. Like, thankfully, there's supposed to be 3 of us in assisted living today, so it's not really going to make that much of a difference. But the reason that there's 6 is because, or 6, the reason that there's 3 of us is that I'm supposed to be doing family visits. So they're going to need somebody else to help with dinner and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm just really freaking irritated.